You know, I guess I'm going to do something weird here. So, well, hello, everybody on YouTube. It's the Wingnut, and I'm going to do something a little different. I noticed I haven't been talking about motorcycles a lot. It's really just been some half-ass channel updates and then a few kind of, rambling things here or there. Let's talk about motorcycling for a bit. So what brought this up, and I had a completely different type of thing planned today for the channel, especially for this video, but I was sitting there and I was going through and I was updating all my motorcycle safety information for my command, and I was talking to somebody else about it. So you know what, we haven't done a command ride, so we haven't done a group ride like since I've been here, and I'm used to doing almost one a month, and by instruction we have to do at least 2 a year, and everybody has to attend at least one. And then the individual we're talking to, and he's like, blah 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 blah. I didn't say anything for or against. It's just one of those deals where just talked about group rides and whatnot for a second. And he mentioned his bike needed to get fixed, and we talked about carburetors for a minute. And then it just got me thinking, I see a lot of people out there that don't like group. I like group rides now. When I first started riding, I was kind of against them for the same reasons that I'm going to bring up. But how I got into group riding is a little weird, or maybe not weird. So I would ride with one or two friends here or there. The whole time I've been a motorcyclist, it might be 2-3 bikes total, staggered formation, easy day. Well, did a couple of command group rides, and I hung out in the back because I wasn't used to riding as a group rider, and just kind of watching what was going on, seeing what they're doing, listening to the briefs, and then riding that way. So I did a couple of group rides that way, and then I came to a command that the guy running the program was on his way out the door, and then I ended up with the job. They're like, hey, you're gonna be our motorcycle guy. And I'm like, what? Yeah, Tag, you're it. You're a big dude. You got anchors. You got a motorcycle. You're the motorcycle guy. I'm like, shit. Sorry, I guess I'm the motorcycle guy. So then I started having to do a lot of research. So I started going on to the the MSF websites. I started going on to the Motorcycle Coalition websites, club sites, just trying to find everything I can on group riding, YouTube videos, the works. And then a month later, I had a route picked out. I had a tail gunner. I had 9 people, not counting myself. And we did quite a long group ride for my first one. I think we ended up traveling like 70-something miles. Now, it's not really a long group ride in the grand scheme of things, but for the first one that you're having to lead and having no experience every day other than riding in a few, it was quite interesting. And when I talk to people about group rides, say, hey, let's get a group together and go for a ride, you'll have people who are all for it, and then you have a ton of people who are like, nah, man, I don't do that. It's like, why? Oh, well, they're not safe. They're dangerous, because I don't know what that other fool's going to do. I'm like, well, I can respect that. I felt the same way too, but I've also found that if you don't ever do a group ride, you're never gonna do a group ride. You're missing out on a lot of fun. You're missing out on a lot of knowledge. And if you see somebody riding a little stiff, you say, hey, bro, you're riding a little stiff. You might want to loosen up. Or hey, I noticed when you're going to that curve, you're really doing this. Why don't you do this? It's a way to grow as a community. It's also a community thing, because there's nothing. I mean, you spend the whole day riding your motorcycles. You don't stop and have lunch, carry on, why not have dinner, make some friends. Grow the community, share knowledge. It'll amaze you what you'll learn at a group ride. And so generally in a group ride, you're going to be staggered, a 5-second split between the bike and the bike in front of you, and the staggered bike's going to be about 2-second to 3-second offset. So what that means is you're in a really concentric pattern where you're like this. And it works quite well as long as everybody's paying attention. Now, we always say during the group rides that I've ran, tell people, look, ride your ride. If we're in a staggered formation and you're not comfortable, give yourself a little space. Make sure that you're comfortable and go there, and everybody else will just ride a staggered ride. So if you want to ride center lane, just make sure you give that larger gap. All right, or move towards the back. If you need to drop off. Don't ride around folks, just drop off side of the road and tail gunner will pick you up. We'll go from there. God damn, all these, you see this shit? That dude's just pelting everybody with leaves. Anyways, here I was thinking like there's leaves and stuff blowing out of the trees. Nope, it's just a truck. But we tell them, ride your ride, and give them pointers and tips. And yeah, the first time you ride in a group ride, it's really, really easy to do a couple of things wrong. One of the first things you can do wrong is not pay attention. All right, absolutely and utterly not pay attention. That's a big one, because what'll happen is you're not paying attention to what the person who's in front of you is doing. You're not kind of watching the field, seeing what's going on. You're not passing information back with hand signals and turn signals and all that jazz. And what can happen is it can cause confusion, or it can cause an accident because you're not paying attention. It is what it is. Second thing you can do is pay too much attention to the rider in front of you. Now here's where we get to a fine line, and some people are going to tell me I'm crazy for saying this, but you can end up target fixing on the person in front of you and just go tunnel vision on everything else. All right? You can. It happens. It happens. We had a guy one time was just locked in on what was going on with the bike in front of him. He didn't see the bike in front of him stopping. They were staggered, and light turned red, and next thing you know, it's like 3 bikes getting ready to mash up because the bike in front of him was watching the light, not the bike in front of him. It's just psychotic. So yes, it can be more dangerous, but so is riding in traffic than it is riding on the road by yourself. If there was no other car around me for miles in either direction, that's a lot safer than being stacked in with a bunch of cars like cordwood. Same thing with a bike. It can be more dangerous, but it's only more dangerous if you choose not to pay attention, or you choose to pay too much attention, or get target fixed. So you have to do it to get better at it. And if you've done a couple of them and you didn't like them, I get it. It's not your thing. But I highly suggest that anybody who ever wants to throw a leg over a motorcycle and ride, do a group ride. If you're not comfortable with, a 300-person group or a poker run, don't go to one for your first one. It can be intimidating. A lot of bikes, a lot of senior riders. Some people don't necessarily have too much patience for junior riders at big events like that. Some do. Just get a small group together. Get a Facebook group of folks. Show up, hang out, go for a quick ride. Just kind of do your thing. That's what you got to do. Just kind of ease into it if you can. And you'll find, I think most people will find that group rides end up becoming good. So if you're only 2-3 deep, man, there's nothing wrong with that. If you 300 deep, ain't nothing wrong with that either, as long as you're comfortable doing it. If you're not comfortable, don't. I know this is kind of long and rambly, but I cannot stress that enough. When you go to a group ride, if you're not comfortable with the situation and how you're stacked up, drop out of the pile, pull up to the back with the road captain, and let them know, hey, look, I don't know what's going on. Especially if you're a new rider or new to group riding, don't be afraid to tell somebody, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. What can I do? How should I handle this? Because it's the only way to really get used to it is to do it. Kind of like Stockholm Syndrome. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That's wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong. Sorry, wrong. But, You just got to get used to it. That's the hard thing. Some groups ride real hard and fast and wheel to wheel. Here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, in all its wonderfulness, sarcasm implied, we sorry guys, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news with Virginia right now. I'm not going to get into it at this time. But you can ride wheel to wheel, two in a lane, side by side. And the clubs out here do it, man. These fools, and I mean fools in the best way possible. I got respect for them for the fact that I am not comfortable riding wheel to wheel at highway speeds stacked like cordwood. Because that shit is seriously long haul, long time riding together. And that's really cool that they can do that. I am not necessarily comfortable with that just yet myself. Can you, I mean, ooh, that's close. You think of two of these bikes side by side in this lane. So we awful close. So you got that. That's one of the cool things that you can do here in the Commonwealth is you can ride wheel to wheel in a lane, and it's legal. As you can see, it's a crisp December day here in Virginia. I've got my Carhartts on because I don't like being cold. And I know, yes, someone's going to point out, don't you own a truck? Yes, I do. I also own a motorcycle, and I like to ride because, as you can see, it is a nice day. Chilly, but a nice day. Anyways, back to the story at hand. So yeah, group riding is one of those things where you really, I suggest that if you're going to ride a motorcycle, that you try to do a couple group rides. You may find out that a group that you start riding with isn't the group that you really like to ride with. Maybe they ride too fast. Maybe they ride too slow. Maybe they just like to ride around the block. I mean, I've had a group that literally rode 3 miles, got off their bikes. I was not cool with that. I'm going to get on my bike to ride. I want to ride. My commute is just a hair shy of 50 miles round trip every day. If I do anything less than 50 miles, it feels like I'm just going to and from work. So, oh my goodness. You know, enjoy it, find what you like, but give it a shot. If you've never done a group ride, give it a shot. I would love to get a group ride together here in you know, Hampton Roads. You know, do a meetup with other motovloggers. There's a few in the area. Love to do something like that, but unfortunately at this time I don't have a lot of time. The impending deployment stuff I gotta get done for the house. I don't know how many more videos I'm going to do before I'm gone, but I will tell you this, I will drop a video when I am gone for those of you who do actually watch the channel, so you know not to wait for anything doing. I am taking a lot of my edited outtakes and mistakes, and I'm kind of putting them together so I have videos that I can send out, you know, whenever I hit a port visit. So we'll see how it goes from there on that. It's just how it goes. Well, everybody, it's the Wingnut. Like, dislike, subscribe. Hey, it's on you. Have a good one.